Coming up on WFT's First at 5, a fight between the state of California and the Trump administration heads to the court, all while protesters continue to clash with ICE agents.
And the dust has finally settled after accusation of ethical violation of electing an interim city manager in Alachua.
And with gloomy skies ahead, our weather team will let us know if it's finally time to keep the umbrella handy. First at 5 starts now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
In less than an hour, a Florida man convicted of sexual assault and murder is set to be executed at a state prison in Bradford County. This is WUFT First at 5. I am Candy Fontana Verde.
And I'm Maria Rodriguez. The murder happened more than 3 decades ago at a supermarket parking lot in Lake City. In April of 1994, Anthony Wainwright and his accomplice sexually assaulted and murdered a 23-year-old Carmen Gayhart, a mother of 2 young children in Lake City. In an interview, the victim's family said Wainwright's execution is an opportunity for closures Gayhart's family has been waiting 3 decades for. Wainwright's lawyers claim critical systemic failures at virtually every stage and through the signing of his death warrant, but the state Supreme Court rejected his appeal Monday. Wainwright's execution is set to take place at 6 p.m. Wainwright is among 4 inmates across the county scheduled for execution this week. Alabama is also scheduled to put Gregory Hunt to death for murder. Then on Thursday, the state of Oklahoma is expected to execute John Hanson. And a day later, Stephen Stanko is scheduled to be put to death in South Carolina.
Commissioners in the city of Alachua showed their new interim city manager last night, but now without bunny heads. WUFT Michael Orlando caught the attention on camera. He joined us live in the studio to explain why the new hire caused some friction.
Commissioners voted 3-1 to promote their assistant city manager to interim city manager. A newcomer to the dais was the lone vote against. He wasn't happy that the new hire was close with the last 2 city managers, both of whom are soon to be under investigation.
Alachua City Commissioners didn't have to look far for their new interim city manager.
I am honored and humbled to be selected.
But commissioners were divided on whether the selection was right.
We need someone who is operationally competent and is untainted by controversy.
One fresh face on the commission, Jacob Fletcher, was the lone vote against promoting Assistant City Manager Rodolfo Valladares.
I will be voting no.
He expressed in an email that he felt commissioners decided ahead of the meeting to promote him, which caused some friction with Commissioner Dana Williams and Mayor Walter Welch.
Not only are you attempting to assassinate the character of Mr. Valladares, you are borderline slandering each one of your fellow commissioners up here, including the mayor.
We cannot give the citizens a bad look at us like we are against one another.
Fletcher says the new interim was too close to the former city managers, Mike DeRosa and Adam Bukhari, who will soon be under investigation.
But at this point, we don't have facts.
A former city planner accused Bukhari of working with DeRosa to speed development projects through city meetings, and says Valladares oversaw some city planning boards where his influence spread.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Residents asked for an update on the investigation.
It is extremely important to everybody for that investigation to go forward.
Let's do it. Put it on the agenda.
It's time to bring that to light.
We need to know. We deserve to know. And we put you guys in these jobs to take care of that.
There were a lot of disarray in the community where people felt like there was disconnect and there was falling apart, and I know that there's just truly a need where people just want to feel like our commission is united, that we're moving in positive ways.
3 votes against 1, Valladares was appointed as the interim city manager. But some residents appreciate Fletcher's concern either way.
We've invested our lives into this community. We've bought our homes, we've raised our children here, we're invested. We've got skin in the game, big time. So yeah, I mean, it should be heated. That's what our whole country should be, heated about what's going on and make sure the right things are happening.
City Attorney Marion Rush says she's still looking for people to carry out the investigation into the former city managers, but says they had to focus on filling the city manager seat first. The worker who made the accusations against Bukhari and DeRosa was one of 3 city planning employees who quit suddenly in February. That left 1 person working in the department. The 3 other seats have not been filled at this time. Live in the studio, Michael Orlando, WUFT News.
A run of rain moved through North Florida before lunchtime, and we have seen a few showers and thunderstorms develop this afternoon. UF forecaster Reuben is live in the weather, timing out more rain on the way.
Taking a look at our satellite and radar, so I want to put emphasis on the west part of Florida. So earlier they were under storm severe risk, but as it made its way over to our area, it mostly dispersed and trickled down. It mostly didn't affect us. Now, as we can see from the storm tracker, that is reflective. As for the most part, it's mostly affecting the St. John's area, Alachua, these counties, Marion, they're seeing a little bit near Ocala. They're seeing a little bit of that storm that came from the west. Now, taking a look at the heat index, that reflects the temperatures we've been feeling. It feels like 97 despite it only being 92 degrees outside. So coming up, we'll have more for you about.
A Gainesville man is facing charges accused of possessing child sex abuse material. After a saber tip to the GPD indicating that a Kink account shared multiple videos of child sexual abuse, a warrant was issued for Alexander Callison. All of Callison's electronic devices were seized, and based on evidence, investigators say Callison was arrested and charged on multiple counts of possession and distribution of child porn.
The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly car crash on State Road 26 in Alachua County. A 22-year-old was thrown from the USV. Troopers say the driver was traveling east on the highway, hitting two motor roads when it ran off the road towards the north shoulder. State Road 26 took a 22-year-old man's life. The vehicle hit a fence and a tree. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene.
Voters in Hawthorne will select a new commissioner for Seat 2. Polls close in less than 2 hours at 7 p.m. Voters will choose between the incumbent of Seat 2, Randy Martin, or his challenger, Mary Ann Clausen. Voting is taking place at the Hawthorne Community Center.
Today, Governor Ron DeSantis, alongside state leaders of Florida, approved the protection of more than 78,000 acres of land throughout Florida, with several perceived happening in north central Florida. The approved plan consists of 4 main areas of conservation. First, around 60,000 acres within the Rainford to Osceola Greenway in Baker and Union counties. Then roughly 15,000 acres within the Camp Blanding to Rainford Greenway in Baker and Bradford counties. Next, 1,700 acres in the Rural and Family Lands Protection Program easement in Alachua, Bradford, Glade, and Putnam counties.
Coming up next on First at 5, the president calling for more troops to head into California as protesters continue to clash with ICE agents. But California's governor hopes to block his efforts.
And community members gather in Orlando this week to remember those lost in the Pulse nightclub shooting 9 years ago. We're back after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Right now, we're taking a live look at the ongoing protests against ICE in Los Angeles, with the National Guard actively deployed in the city streets to ward off protesters. But this is only the beginning, as President Trump called for 2,000 more National Guard soldiers to be deployed onto the streets to stifle the protests while he made his way to Fort Bragg in North Carolina today. California leaders have taken to the courts to block those efforts. Back in Washington, Gabe Gutierrez reports Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is on the Hill, facing questions over the use of military force in California.
President Trump late today heading to North Carolina to address troops at Fort Bragg, marking the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army. The celebration comes amid his controversial move to deploy hundreds of Marines to Los Angeles to quell immigration protests sparked by ICE raids.
But the National Guard, they needed a little extra help, and we sent them a little, and we did a great job last night.
Critics say the order to send in military personnel on top of National Guard members is overkill.
He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match.
California Governor Gavin Newsom ramping up his war of words with Trump, posting these are the acts of a dictator, not a president. But the administration sees the political battle with a blue state as a winning issue. One White House official telling NBC News, "We're happy to have this fight." The debate boiling over on Capitol Hill, Republicans piling on Newsom.
He ought to be tarred and feathered, I'll say that. I mean, look, he's standing in the way of the administration and the carrying out of federal law.
Democrats slamming the optics of armed U.S. military personnel in a major American city.
This is an order, not just for California, but for this entire country, and they can send people anywhere. And that is dangerous, it's wrong.
Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Washington.
After a weekend of protests and unrest in Los Angeles, Americans across the country are pouring into the streets to oppose ICE raids and government immigration policies, with more protests planned for the rest of the week. Within the past 24 hours, more than 10 states have held their own protests in response to the growing unrest and militarization happening in Los Angeles. Here in Florida, hundreds of people gathered outside Tampa City Hall on Monday to demand an end to ICE raids across the country. There were some heated moments between anti-ICE protesters and counter-protesters, but no violence was reported.
Don't break families apart, or don't come here terrorize this community.
Immigration attorneys say federal agents are using the separation of kids from families as a tactic to have entire families deported.
Thursday will mark 9 years since the 2016 Pulse nightclub massacre in Orlando, and the city is preparing to create a permanent memorial at the site where those 49 lives were lost. Since the shooting, the city of Orlando has been planning a memorial at the site, set to replace the nightclub, but construction won't start until next year. In the meantime, city leaders and loved ones pay tribute to the victims each year, which include Luis Martinez. He works for the city, and every year he plays Reubens from an artist in Massachusetts outside his office, Orlando City Hall, to honor the victims. The Reubens will be on display until Monday, a temporary reminder of the enormous loss.
After nine years, continues to be difficult for all the victims' families and survivors, but we are here. We are brothers and sisters. We are supporting each other.
This week, the city of Orlando is facilitating the first organized visit to the site for loved ones. For the public, the annual Remember ceremony is set for Thursday.
Satellite and radar reflects light showers in our area. That is to be expected coming this week. I'll have more for you after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
So I saw it's going to be raining this week.
Yeah, definitely a great time to have an umbrella in hand, right, Reuben?
You are right, Maria. This is not only a great day, it's a great week to bring an umbrella. There's potential storms and lightning in your area as of right now. Now, as of today, we are under severe risk, not us, more so towards the Duval County, the St. Johns, the Flagler County area. They are more so seeing the severe risk of these isolated storms. Isolated storms are more so affecting their area as of right now. Now, let's take a look on campus. Although it says it's 94 degrees, you can trust me, it feels like 99 degrees outside. It was extremely hot on my way to the studio. I felt that heat. Now, the temperatures right now, they only say 93 for Gainesville, but please believe me, how it feels is more reflective than what it is. But for the most part, high 80s, low 90s, reflecting Florida as of right now for the temperatures. Taking a look at tonight, there is a chance of storm. If there is going to be rainfall, there's a chance of storm towards the evening, but for the most part, it should be mostly cloudy with a tiny chance of late rain going into the nightfall. Taking a look at this futurecast, as I mentioned, the Duval County area, they are more so seeing the rain and the storms. The nighttime, it is going to be, for the most part, Tuesday clear, but as that lunchtime starts to appear, you'll start to see showers coming through your area, affecting us. Nighttime showers, look out for that. Alachua County, Marion County, they are covered in nighttime showers, and that's to be expected. Now, a flash flood is risk for tomorrow. There's a small chance of a flash flood due to multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms that will be coming through our area as of tomorrow. But Wednesday morning, it's what you expect. 70-degree temperatures are your lows, 90-degree temperatures are your highs. This is what you would most likely gonna see throughout the day. 93 for Gainesville, 93 for Stark, Florida. That's your highs and lows. Now, summer camp forecast. It's expected to start dry. It's around the noon going to be hot and humid, and showers are likely during the more so evening time. But once you're packing your lunch boxes for your children, I would recommend also bring an umbrella just in case. Now, let's take a look at the futurecast real quick. This reflects Thursday, nighttime showers. That is what to look out for, nighttime showers. Friday morning, not so much. Now, let's take a quick look at our 7-day outlook. For the most part, the week is going to be rainy, stormy, 90-degree temperatures. Lows are going to be 70s. It's a smart idea to pack an umbrella.